Ace Johnson was once a great detective with the Allen Police Department. His retirement ended his time on the force. Now, he uses his skills to help the powerless. Tune in to each episode as Ace finds love, makes new friends, and brings criminals to justice. Ace Johnson, Episode 12, Back to Charley's. Developed from the book Ace of Hearts by Gary W. Bryant. Executive Producer, Editor, Studio K. Director, Gary W. Bryant. Music Producer, Jordan Roush. Clarinet Solos, Olivia Uten. Sound Effects, Blake Kraft. In this episode, you will hear the voices of Gary W. Bryant as the narrator and Ace Johnson, Chris Campbell as Lieutenant Hal Spears, Christina Bentley as Kathy Williams, Lauren Leach as Susie, Kim Miller as Rose Ricotta, Walt Pennington as Jimmy Reynolds, Kristen Duff as Lily Ricotta.
Anna and the boys have been gone for only a few hours, but I missed them already. I settled into my recliner for my annual Memorial Day watching of Midway with Charlton Heston, Henry Fonda, and Hal Holbrook. The story played out as it did every other year. The Navy was searching for the Japanese fleet. I thought my current situation of searching for the missing girls was similar, except that, unlike Hal Holbrook's character, I didn't even have a calculated guess. My Hal had found the missing battleship in the form of the van, but it didn't appear to put us any closer to finding the girls. My cell phone rang.
Ace, we found some DNA on the van. It was a match for the girl who was killed in Simpsonville. We don't know who or where the driver is, but he's now wanted in connection with the death of the girl. Days later, you saw him in Jacques. Not to mention, he was here weeks ago when the girl was taken from Simpsonville. So it doesn't appear he's passing through. Either he has been here the whole time, or he keeps coming back for some reason.
Hal, I wonder if we could narrow down where he might be by plotting the disappearances on the map. Perhaps he has a target area. If he does, we might be able to figure out the center of that target and maybe his base.
Hey, that might just work. Great idea. I'll take another look at your girl's map.
Don't think me. Think Hal Holbrook.
Huh?
Haven't you ever seen the movie Midway?
Yes, but what does that have to do with anything?
Never mind. I'll look at Lily's map again myself. Let's see how closely our conclusions match.
Sounds good. I'll talk to you later.
See you, Hal. I pulled out Lily's map and looked at the farthest point in each direction from which girl had been taken. The distance between the farthest point in the north and the one in the south was around 170 miles, while the farthest point in the east was about 200 miles from the farthest point in the west. I drew lines from the farthest point in each direction and looked at where they intersected. I drew a fairly even circle around the intersection points, extending about 25 miles in either direction from the center. There were only 3 towns within the circle, one of them being Allen. The other 2 towns, Belmont and Slade, were each missing a girl. I called Hal to see how closely our circles might match. Hi, Hal. What'd you come up with?
It could be anywhere in the center of the state. That's what I have anyway.
Really? I narrowed it down to about 3 towns, Belmont, Slade, and here in Allen.
Now, how did you do that?
It would probably be easier to show you next time I come by the station. I thought you were better than that.
Okay, spare me the sarcasm. What will we do now that we've pinpointed these towns?
Who's in charge at Belmont and Slade?
Tucker Sims is the chief at Belmont. You probably remember him. I don't know the guy at Slade. I think it's a new guy. The mayor's cousin or somebody like that.
I could go see Tucker at Belmont. Maybe you could talk to the guy at Slade. But Hal, I think it might be a good idea to keep our search quiet. If he's here or in one of the other 2 towns, we don't want him to know we're onto him. If the girls are still alive, and I believe they are, he has to think he's still getting away with it. The girls' lives could be in danger if we spook him.
Gotcha. Anything else?
Well, that feeling in my gut about Reynolds still hasn't gone away.
Come on, Ace. Do you have anything to link him to any of this? I know your gut usually doesn't lie, but...
But what, Hal? You think I might have lost my touch because I'm older? I may not be quite what I was physically, but I haven't lost anything upstairs.
I know. It's just that no evidence we have so far ties Reynolds to anything. I admit this looks like his former businesses, but where's the tie-in? We don't have one. Not right now, anyway.
Don't forget what Lily told us about the $10,000 package. Maybe that's the going rate for a teenage girl in the world these days.
Maybe. He could have also been talking about a shipment for the restaurant.
I don't know, Hal. When we get to the bottom of this, Reynolds will be at the very bottom.
I need to go, Ace. After all, it's a holiday. I'll talk to you later.
Later, Hal. I thought about what Hal had said. He wondered if maybe I could be wrong about Reynolds. I knew I needed to find some evidence, but how? I said it might be time for another Charley's cheeseburger. I didn't know what I could find. Was it possible Reynolds would keep anything at the restaurant that would incriminate him? I needed a lunch partner, so of course I called Kathy.
Hello?
Hi, it's Ace.
I knew who it was. I don't answer without looking at the caller ID. Are Anna and the boys gone?
Yes, they left this morning.
I imagine you must miss them. I do hope they come and visit again soon.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet around here. It was nice to have a house full of people again. Hey, would you like to have a late lunch?
Okay, but why a late lunch? It's only 10:30. I could be ready in an hour or so. Wait, is this another fact-finding mission?
Could be. I've been working with Hal today. I believe that the kidnapper could be in Allen or one of the nearby towns.
What does that have to do with lunch? Oh, let me guess. We're going to eat at Charley's.
Yes. I want to go after lunch crowd is gone. I hope the place will be fairly deserted, around 2:30 or so.
I'm not sure if that's a late lunch or an early dinner. I guess I could have a snack to hold me over.
I know it's an inconvenience, but we must keep trying to find something to help those girls and their families.
I know, Ace. I'm sorry for complaining.
It's okay. Everything we've done since you met me has had something to do with this case. I promise once it's over, we'll have a real date. I'll pick you up at 2:30.
Okay, see you then.
I leaned back in my recliner and turned my attention back to the movie. By now, Charlton Heston's character had found the Japanese fleet while flying overhead, just where Hal Holbrook's character said it would be. His theory had been correct. I felt like Hal Holbrook's character now. I had such a strong feeling that Reynolds was in the middle of everything, but like the naval intelligence officer Hal Holbrook portrayed in Midway, my hunch was based less on evidence and more on a gut feeling. I wondered what I hoped to find at Charley's, if anything at all. We walked into Charley's and found a few people in the restaurant and no hostess at the stand. One heavy-set bearded man was sitting at the bar. An older couple occupied a single table. A waitress spotted us and walked toward us. I recognized the young lady from the last time we were there.
Sorry for your wait. Do you have a preference for where you want to sit? You can pretty much sit where you want. We don't get much traffic this time of day.
How about the table in the back? I'm like Wild Bill Hickok. I want to see the room.
Well, Bill who?
Never mind. My humor's a bit out there sometimes. Are you the only one working?
No, there's a cook in the back of the kitchen, and Mr. Reyes is in his office. I'm Susie. What would you like to drink?
Susie took our drink orders, a Pepsi for me and a sweet tea for Kathy. Then she went behind the bar to get our drinks.
Why did you want to sit back here?
I wasn't kidding about wanting to see the room. We could see everyone in the restaurant from back here.
That makes sense.
I couldn't see Reynolds' office door, just the hallway that led to it in the kitchen. The hallway was just to the left of the bar. I needed to get close to the office, hoping I would be lucky enough to overhear any phone conversation Reynolds might have or even see someone in the office. Unfortunately, the bathrooms were in the back of the restaurant, so that would be of no help. I needed a plan to get close to the office. What do you think? Cheeseburgers again?
Sure, why not?
The couple sitting at the table and the guy at the bar left, leaving us as the only customers. Susie brought our drinks and took our food order. I watched her disappear down the hallway to the kitchen. guessing she wouldn't be back for a while with no customers in the dining area. This was my chance. I quickly drank most of my Pepsi, then stood up from my seat. I'm going for it. I watched for Susie as I crossed the dining room into the hallway. I walked past the kitchen door on the right and toward what I assumed to be the office door at the end of the dark hall. I saw a light peeking through the gap under the door. I became excited as I neared the door and heard Reynolds' voice.
Mr. Smith is coming by on Friday. He's bringing 3 of his business associates. No, do not come by the restaurant. You know better than that. You can't be seen here.
Can I help you?
The voice on the other side of the door grew silent. I turned sharply and moved away from the door. I had to cover for being there. I was looking for you. Could we get drink refills?
Sure. Just go back to your table.
The office door opened, and Reynolds now stood in the office doorway.
What are you doing back here?
I was looking for the waitress. We needed refills. I found her.
Okay, well, no one's supposed to be back here. Just go back to your table, and I'm sure Susie could take care of you.
Reynolds went back into his office and shut the door. Susie escorted me back to the table where Kathy was waiting with an empty glass. She held up her glass as Susie approached.
So you found her. Can I get a refill?
Susie looked at the glass as if to confirm it was empty, then took the glass from the table.
I'll bring you a fresh glass. Would you like me to bring you another Pepsi as well?
Sure.
I usually bring refills after I bring the food. I guess you guys were thirsty.
I looked at Kathy after Susie left to get the refills. That was smart thinking on your part. She caught me when I was standing next to Reynolds' office. I told her I was looking for her to get refills.
When I saw her walking back with you, I figured she caught you. I guzzled my tea and hoped you told her we needed refills. Hey, you said Reynolds.
Did I say Reynolds? I mean Reyes. Yes, that's exactly what I told her. Great minds think alike.
Did you find anything?
Maybe. I'll tell you about it after we get outside. I looked at my watch. It was nearly 3:15. I knew from talking to Rose that she normally started her shift at 4 o'clock. I wanted to get out of Charley's before she came to work. I didn't want to risk Rose letting Reynolds know who I was and what I was doing. Susie brought our food, and 10 minutes later, I looked at Kathy and tapped my watch after Susie walked away. Eat quickly. We don't want Rose to see us here. She might accidentally give us up. We quickly swallowed the cheeseburgers, which we both agreed were as good as the second time as the first. I paid the check, and we rushed toward the parking lot. By the time we made it to the door, I spotted Rose through the window, getting out of her car. I pointed toward the window.
What are we going to do?
Let's try to catch her in the parking lot before she gets in. I'll make sure she doesn't say anything to anyone about knowing me. We quickly intercepted Rose. I made sure no one was within earshot. Hi, Rose. I can't explain it right now, but please don't tell anyone inside that you know me.
Okay. I'm not sure why, but I trust you have a good reason.
I do. Unfortunately, I can't explain it right now, but hopefully I can soon.
Wait, does this have something to do with the missing girls?
It does?
Do you think someone here has something to do with it?
Maybe. I promise I'll explain when I know more.
Okay, Ace. I need to go anyway. I'll see the two of you later.
Bye, Rose.
Once inside the car, I explained to Kathy what I heard in the hallway outside Reynolds' office. I wish I would have had a couple more minutes. I think he was about to say something we could use. I'm more sure than ever that he's connected to this.
Could he have been talking about something else?
I know it isn't concrete evidence, but if what happened to the girls is what I think, they're part of a human trafficking ring, then it would make sense. I think Mr. Smith is a client. Maybe he was talking to the guy with the scar or someone connected to the girls. I know I'm reaching a bit, but it would make sense. I'm going to call Hal. I called Hal from my car and repeated the same story I told Kathy. Hal wasn't any more convinced than she was.
Is that all he said? Perhaps there's enough to cast some suspicion, especially under the circumstances. But it isn't a lot to hang your hat on. I'm sorry, Ace. Even if you're right, I don't know that there's much we can do. He told the person not to come to Charley's, most likely because he doesn't want to be seen with him. So that means it wouldn't do much good to stake out the restaurant or follow Reynolds. We need to know who was on the other end of that phone.
I understand, Hal. I'll keep trying. I know you will too. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later, Ace.
I ended the call and looked at Kathy. She had a bewildered look on her face.
Hal said Reynolds too, like you have a couple of times. That's an interesting coincidence. Do you know more than you're telling me?
Honestly, I do, but I can't tell you. I made a promise to Hal. I wish I could tell you. If I could, you would understand why I suspect Reyes the way I do.
I trust you. I appreciate that you're keeping a promise. So what do we do now? It sounds like the police can't do much without more evidence.
We keep working. If I'm right, the girls are alive, at least for now, but the life they're living now is a nightmare. We have to find them as soon as we can. What I heard convinces me more even now than ever that those girls are somewhere near Allen. There are at least 15 girls missing that we know of. If they are keeping them in one place, it would have to be large enough for all of them. They would need someone staying there with them. I think it would also be likely somewhere off the beaten path. Hey, I have an idea. How would you like to see Lily?
Oh, I'd like to see her. Want me to call her? I can put it on speaker.
Yes, give her a call.
Hi, Kathy.
Hi, Lily. I'm with Ace. You're on speaker.
Hi, Ace. Are you lovebirds hanging out again?
I was hungry, so we did what we do. Eat.
Lily, can we come by for a few minutes? Would that be okay? I have an idea.
Sure. I'm just playing my clarinet.
Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes. We found Lily waiting anxiously for us. She opened the door before we could even knock.
What do you have in mind, Ace?
We're looking for a structure big enough to house around 20 people. Do you think you can use your computer skills to help us find something like that? I think maybe it might show up on a satellite image.
Sure. Let me get my laptop. I know just a program. What are we looking for? A big house? A hotel?
I'm not sure. It could be anything, but I'm guessing it won't be in a populated area. I think it'll also likely be a fenced area with a gate. We spent several minutes looking at different houses or any other structures, any structure we thought could possibly be isolated enough, large enough, and protected. Finally, we narrowed it down to 4 or 5 potential targets. Lily blew them up and printed them out with their addresses.
Are you going to give them to the police?
Unfortunately, we aren't at the point where we have enough convincing evidence to get them interested.
So what are you going to do?
The same thing I did more times than I can count for many years. I'm going to stake them out to see if I can see anything that'll lead us to more evidence, enough to get the police involved.
Couldn't that be dangerous? I've gone along with you, but I don't know about this, Ace. So far you haven't done anything to put yourself in harm's way. This could be different if you're caught.
O ye of little faith. I know how not to get caught.
I agree with Kathy. It could be dangerous.
Ladies, I'll be perfectly fine. Look, I believe these girls are still alive, but I also believe they're suffering and their lives are in danger. These people have proven they will kill as they killed Amelia. We don't know how much time these girls have. I don't feel I have any choice. I have to do something.
Okay, but I'm going with you.
There's no way I would put you in danger.
I thought you said there wouldn't be any danger.
Well, maybe a little, but I'm not willing to put you in any danger.
I'm a big girl. I can make my own decisions.
Okay. You can go with me.
I want to go too.
No!
Lily, I wouldn't take any chance that you could be in danger. Besides, I'm not sure your mother would ever agree even if we did. There's no way I would let my granddaughter do something like this.
I'm not your granddaughter.
I understood what she meant, but for some reason her statement still stung. She wasn't my granddaughter, but I'd grown very fond of her, and I couldn't tell the difference in my heart. Lily must have seen the hurt on my face. She hugged me.
I'm sorry. You reminded me very much of my grandfather. I love you, Ace. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I'd just very much like to go with you, too.
I'm not your grandfather, but I would gladly claim you. That's why there's no way I could put you in danger. I know you want to help. You've already done so much. We couldn't have known to look in Allen if not for your map. You're a valuable member of our team, and you'll help us again, I'm sure.
Okay, but can you text me and let me know if you see anything while you're there?
We'll be glad to. During my detective years, I would have staked out the house at night. Still, I gave it some thought and decided it would be best to conduct the stakeout during daylight hours, partially because I figured I was too old to stay up all night, but mostly because I thought it would be difficult to see who was coming and going since the area was not very well lit. How about tomorrow?
Tune in for the next episode. What will Ace and Kathy find out during their stakeout? Will they get any closer to finding the girls? Will they find any evidence to connect Reynolds to their disappearance? Catch all of our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast outlet. Subscribe to our Patreon, Ace Johnson, Mysteries with Heart, for extra behind-the-scenes features. You can find the book, Ace of Hearts, on Amazon.com and Kindle Unlimited.